All right, so for today, here's the instruction part. In a minute, we're going to be grading those worksheets that I gave you yesterday. So hopefully you just did it. And then you'll be handing them in. Many of you finished them before you even left yesterday. So hopefully you've got that. We'll grade those in a bit. But for right now, we're just starting right here. And I hope without any extra help, you were able to go, well, I know that it has to be 3x and x. How many of you knew that we started that way? Good. Then this next step is the signs. Did you think to put plus and plus? That's how you start. Don't put in the numbers until you've put in the signs. Then we put in the numbers, and the numbers are, how do you make a 2? With a 2 and a 1. Now that is not the right answer. How do I know? Because I checked in my head quick and got 3x times 1 is 3x, and that's 2x, and that doesn't make 7x. What happens if it's not the right answer? Move the numbers, not the signs. Just the numbers. So the 1 goes here and the 2 goes there. Now what does the outside make? 3x times 2, 6x. And 1x, total of 7x. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Okay, awesome. Good. Now, will these get more complicated? Of course they will. I want to turn your attention to, oh my gosh, none of these have a GCF in them. That makes them all kind of easy. I just want to show you like what I mean. Do you get, oh wait, was there one with the GCF? Oh, Avia, focus. Thank you. You're talking to somebody. Don't talk to somebody. What were you doing? Oh, okay. Good. Saw your lips moving. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. So if we need to, we can shut the shades. I just need your attention. I have just a few minutes of teaching stuff. And I'm up here. So if you're going to look any direction, look up this way. All right. So if I had factored this, it would be really easy because you're used to this by now. But what if this had been a 4, this had been a 10, and this had been a 6? What would you have been forced to do first then? I just doubled them all. So what do you think? You'd factor out the 2. And if you factored out a 2, the 2 would come out, and then it would be back to what we just had a second ago. My point is, this worksheet is kind of lame because it doesn't have any factoring of GCFs, and you will for sure on your test. So remember, if all the numbers are kind of big, look to factor out something like a 2, like that. All right, so this problem obviously didn't have that, but I'm just showing you what you would have to do. Now you would go 2x and x, and again, pretty darn easy. It's all pluses. So then this is a plus, and this is a plus. And this is so easy because the 3 only has one choice, 1 and 3. So what happened? Why didn't it work? Because that's 6x and that's 1x. That makes 7x, not 5x. What's wrong? You have to switch them, the 3 and the 1. Notice I didn't switch the signs, just the numbers. Okay, and that makes 2x and 3x, which makes a total of 5x. All right, so I'm just going to give you a few minutes to get, while I'm getting ready to grade that, that other worksheet. I got to pull up the key and stuff. I'd like you to do 2 things. I'd like you to try to do 3 more questions, so up to number 25. Get those 23, 24, and 25. Get those all done. Get those factored. And then pull out the worksheet from yesterday. And I'm going to pause the video so that we can grade that worksheet from yesterday. Okay, so I decided to grade that worksheet myself. Anybody that doesn't have it done, you can either do it on your iPad and then literally Schoology message me with it. And I want you Dropboxing it because I didn't even put up a Dropbox for it. Okay, so just hand it to me, either like those of you that have a paper version, just give it to me like on Monday. Or those of you that weren't here yesterday, you can just do it digitally. All right, so number 23. Grace, would you do the honors?
3x.
Yep. Is it plus, plus, minus, plus, minus, minus? Minus, minus. Good. How do you know that happens? If this one's negative and that one's positive, that's the only time you do a minus, minus. Because 2 negatives, like this number here and this number here, both are negative, makes this number positive. Okay. And now the third step. Which one's first, Grace?
1.
1 and 5. I'm checking you. Negative 15x, negative 1x. Looks like it makes negative 16 to me. Nice job. Okay. Next up, number 24. You guys getting the hang of this? 7x and x, that makes that. That's pretty easy, right? All right. Avia. Is this going to be plus, 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 minus, minus, minus? Think it through. Yep. Very good. Okay. Amelia, the last two numbers have to be what and what? 1 and 2. I'm going to put a 1 here and a 2 here and check it. It's 14 and 1. Does 14 and 1 make 9? No. So I just checked it quick and that is wrong. So then I'm switching the 2 and the 1. And that's negative 7 and negative 2. Does that make negative 9x? Yes, it does. Boom. 7x minus 2, x minus 1. Raise your hand if you got that one right. Cool. You guys are really rocking this. This is awesome. So how is this any different than the test? Two things. On the test, let's do this on number 24. They're going to say, now find the zeros, which is what makes this equation equal 0. Well, I'll tell you one of them. X equals 1 is one of the zeros. What's the other 0? What makes that equal 0? So everybody write this. 7x minus 2 equals 0. Solve it. Do that right now. Solve that for 0. You're finding a 0, which makes this equation equal 0. Hallie, what do I do to both sides first? Ian A, what's next? Final answer. 2 sevenths. Raise your hand if you had 2 sevenths. Cool. That's called a 0. And what else could we ask you on this test? Well, it's mostly about factoring. So it's like factor this harder problem. So let's go down to number 27 and let's make it just nasty. By everybody change this 10 to a 20. What did I just do to it? Doubled it. Now change the 17. Everybody scribble out the 17. What do you think I'm going to make it? 34, you were very close. Because I just doubled it again. And what do you think I'm going to change the 3 into? A 6. What if that was on the test? Yeah, we can give you ones that are that hard because you just have to notice, oh, they're all even. Do you get that all even numbers have a 2 in them? So then go ahead and factor that. This should be not that bad. I mean, not saying it's easy, but you got to factor a GCF out first. So Kennedy, what's the GCF? 2. Everybody factor that 2 back out, and surprise, surprise, you get the original problem back. Can we just stop then? No. Wait, the 6 has to turn into a 3, my bad. And now we have to factor it again. But this one, I have to admit, is kind of nasty because this 10 could be 10x and x, but what else could it be? 5x and 2x. You get how you have like a lot of different variables to play with? But the good part is it's only pluses, and this has to be a 3 and a 1. So is it 10x and 1x at the beginning? I don't know until I try. Play around until you find what makes it 17. You're figuring out the 2 blue question marks. And frankly, it might not be 10x and x. It might be 5x and 2x. I don't know until I try it. I bet you it'll take a while, but I'm going to pause for a minute while everybody tries to find it. You can be proud if you find this one. Okay, Jack, did you figure out if it was 10x and x, or do you think it was 5x and 2x?
5x and 2x.
All right, I'll trust you that you tried the other way and it didn't work, so we'll go with 5x and 2x. We know the other two numbers have to be 3 and 1. So everybody, if you haven't already, use 5x and 2x and figure out the rest of it. Raise your hand if you're already done. I don't want to make too many people wait. All right, that's enough people. We can just do this. So I'm going to just check. I just want you to see that you don't always, get it right. I'm going to put a 3 here and a 1 here, and I get 5x and 6x. 5x and 6x don't make 17x, so you move the numbers, not the signs, the numbers. And now the outside ones make 15x, the inside ones make 2x. That does make 17x. Boom, I'm done. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Cool. All right. So the rest of the beginning of class is just me grading those on paper worksheets and you finishing off this one. Okay? So that's what's happening for this between now and lunch. So just keep on cranking through these. If you need help, talk to the kid next to you, and this is just a nice, relaxing work on factoring time. We have a paper version, like on paper, coming after lunch. And it's going to be a little different. Okay,